Yeah, obviously the second half wasn't the same as the first. What do you attribute that to?
We couldn't really stop them. I don't know, like we're making like basic mistakes. Obviously, we got to look at the film to figure out really what was going on. But felt like they were getting easy buckets. We were like scrambling to guard like very basic actions. It's not like they were doing anything special. And it felt like we were a little bit all over the place, and we couldn't really stop them. And then when we did get them to miss, like they got a bunch of offensive rebounds. So yeah, it's tough to play when they're catching a rhythm like that, and you feel like you can't get a stop. And then I feel like that translates to offense, and we got a little bit stagnant.
How much is LeBron sort of the factor in all that? I mean, on one hand, I'm sure there are a lot of breakdowns you made, but I'm sure not every player takes advantage of every mistake you guys make.
I mean, for sure. Like they got good offensive players. They got good individual players that make plays and punish that. That's no question. But we gotta hold ourselves to a higher standard, I think. It doesn't matter if they're gonna punish our mistakes or not. We shouldn't be making so many mistakes or like these like little miscommunications where we don't really know what's going on the court. We should know how to guard these actions. It's not like they were throwing stuff at us that we didn't know was coming. Like we should know our coverages in these situations, and yeah, that really wasn't the case in the second half.
On a night-to-night basis, what do you feel like is required of you the most in, like, well, I guess at any game, in any given game with this group of guys?
I mean, it's tough to like single something out like that. I think there's a lot of things. Rebounding, being like a defensive anchor, like communicator, trying to get people in the right spots, being like a connector on offense. Like it's not really one thing that I could like single out like that.
Do you feel like that role had to expand given this year?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think that's always kind of been the case. I think the biggest difference this year is like there's even more of like a teaching role with like some of the new guys or young guys, whoever it is, coming in, like trying to get everybody on the same page, like trying to teach some of the young guys that haven't been exposed to these situations very often how to like best handle it, I guess.
Hey, yeah. So I see that Barnes and all your injury players are like still with you to the Waste game. How helpful are they? And then did they give you any tips for how to like stop LeBron or like AD?
Yeah, obviously it's great for us, and I think it speaks for a group that we stick together. Like Scotty's like very vocal, like even when he's not playing, like he's constantly talking to the team, like trying to teach and like get his opinions across, tell us what he's seeing out there. Same thing with like those guys like Kelly or Bruce. Like they're very active and they're helping our team spirit even when they're not playing. Yeah, and as far as like guarding guys like LeBron or AD, I mean, just gotta make it as tough as possible. Like there's some guys out there that if you're guarding them one-on-one, they're gonna have a hard time. So you try to get them to settle and take tough shots, and you live with the results.
Jakob, coming into the season, through the offseason, preseason, a lot of the focus was on improving the defense this season. Do you feel like what you guys have worked on has sustained after about 2-3 weeks in the year?
I think our mindset is in the right place. We just gotta get better at executing it. I think the groundwork is there. Like we're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to do the right things. We're just not good at it yet. So, and especially when we get exposed by like more like experienced teams, I guess. They find loopholes in our defense. Like they figure out how to break us down. Like we're not good at adapting to these things on the fly yet, and like trying to make it tough on them. giving up too many easy mistakes in these situations. But I feel like like I said, we have the right mindset, and we just gotta learn how to execute it.
Unrelated to that, but we're talking to Chris next. He's had a pretty good weekend out here in LA. Some strong performances this season. Obviously, he's back in the rotation. What are you seeing that Chris is doing on both sides of the ball here?
He's been really good for us, kind of in that roaming role. He's been shooting the ball really well. He's done what he's always done. It's kind of like crash the board, like be a nuisance in the paint, kind of that like I said, roaming around. And on defense, he helps us with some off-ball presence, like trying to clog out the paint, protect the paint. Like we had a couple plays today where they try to post up with like some cross screens, and he was there to like muck it up. So stuff like that is really helpful for us, and I hope he keeps it up.
Hey, Chris, what did you feel change in the second half there from what was a pretty good first half?
I think we started well, but you know, they amped up their physicality, and I think we ran out of gas at the end. You know, they had a couple good plays. Anthony Davis block and all. I think that kind of, you know, bringing it back to the game brought the energy back to them. But I think for the longest time of the game, we were doing really good.
Yeah. Why do you think you've hit your stride here the last couple of weeks? I mean, it's been a pretty nice season overall, but you know, this is maybe the steadiest stretch you've had in quite a while.
Just not trying to complicate stuff. I'm just taking what is given. Obviously, I watched the game all and on, and I'm playing against different people. They're guarding me different ways, and I'm just trying to find openings. Obviously, my teammates is, you know, helping me out. They're finding me, and they're also giving me a lot of confidence to take the shots that I'm taking. And you know, the more minutes I get, the more time I get, you know, the better it is for me to learn the game. But also, you know, we've been playing a lot of basketball together, so. Like I said, since the summer, I've been saying we all been together, so it's a lot easier to know what to do when you've been around the guys for that so long.
Yak was talking about Yak was talking about the fact that I guess in this year in particular, his role has had to be a bit more of a teacher with these young guys. Do you feel the same way? And if so, how have you done that for this group?
Yeah, I mean, I think for all of us, it's been really, you know, about learning and, you know, trying to figure it out. Us is trying to teach a little bit more, and for them is to kind of learn. But I think when you get the two together, it's a good combination. I feel like we're becoming better leaders, and that's the best thing for us. It's like I said, we make mistakes too, but like when you're at that position, you're trying to figure out what you could do to help your teammates and all. I think we're doing a really good job at that. Especially a guy like Yak, I think he has the ball a lot in his hands, so he gets to you know, see the game and teach these young guys what to do. And like I said, I feel like we all, you know, getting part of the game, kind of teaching a little bit more.
Chris, I noticed a couple moments in the third quarter where it felt like the Lakers were starting to eat into the lead, and then you hit the three, and then you got the putback. In those moments, do you ever think about like holding the team together emotionally a little bit, especially because you're playing with the second unit a lot, right? And sometimes you guys play really well together, but sometimes you guys, you know, struggle. That emotional side to the game.
I mean, obviously, I think, you know, when you look at who we're coming off the bench, you know, me and Davion got experience, but after that, you know, we got a lot of rookies and all, so it definitely makes me, you know, kind of want to take this leadership role a little bit better. And, I mean, obviously, if I make a mistake, then I'm not helping them, too, so you're really more mindful of what you're doing on the court just because you feel like, you know, as a vet and somebody coming off the team, you got to kind of get going so they can follow.
How do you keep your team, I guess, on the positive side emotionally, given these tough games?
Just staying together. I think we're, you know, the best thing we could do is take the good things that we're doing and trying to put them all together in one game. Obviously, it hasn't been going like that, but if you look at the game that we're playing, we're winning most of the time, and then, you know, we lose the lead. So I think clearly we're doing some good things. We just got to put it all together.
Chris, I know, especially early in your career, but even later on as well, there's been times where you've been in the rotation, you're out of the rotation. I think young guys like Jonathan Mobo and Shamal Shad, this is probably their first time going through that, right? They've been playing a lot, but guys are coming back, their minutes are coming down. Have you sort of spoken to them, especially because you play a lot with those in those minutes, like keeping and staying productive, even though your time becomes smaller?
I talk to them all the time. I think Jamal and Mogbo is the people that I'm around the most, just because, like, you know, I've been there before. When you get like success and all, you feel like you want to get more minutes and all, but you also kind of realize, okay, I'm a rookie and there's other players in front of me. But like I think that they're doing a really good job. Like they're always ready to work and always ready to put time. And you know, the earlier you explain it to them how the work, how it goes, the better it is. And the reaction that they have, I think they all doing a good job. And they, you know, they come to practice and they come to work and they take the minute that they have. And that's why the energy has been good around us. Is that nobody's complaining, everybody's trying to get better at work.
You would have thought when AD gets hurt, the way he was playing, it would have worked to your advantage, but why was LeBron able to sort of dictate things and obviously get Jackson Hayes involved the way he did?
LeBron James is probably one of the best, if not the best player that ever played this game, and it's easy to forget it. It's easy to forget when he goes in the first half and scores 5 points, and you think that's going to be the game for him. And that's not reality. He's just a player that sees the game with different eyes and is able to punish every little mistake or mismatch that he has there. I thought that he played really well in the second half. I thought that this game was a game of two different halves. I thought that first half we had, especially that first quarter, we had more force. I thought that we did really elite job in the first half rebounding the ball, and that we did not have enough momentum and energy to sustain that for 48 minutes. Credit to them, they played good game, and we got to learn from this and be better.
Do you chalk that up to, you know, long trip, young team learning how to do all of that, 4 games in 7 nights, or just the force of the opponent?
I never look at the schedule and blame the schedule. It's every night in NBA you gotta be ready. You gotta be every day player and be ready for every game. I thought that we had several guys that played better today than they played yesterday. So every game is a story for itself, and the game is on the schedule. We got to show up and be ready to play. As I said, like we played really good in the first half, and we tried a little bit of hero ball in the second half. The ball stopped moving, and we were not able to close that game the way we wanted.
You spoke about RJ a bit before the game, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Do you think any of that is getting used to playing with somebody like IQ again, or is it just, again, like you mentioned, the scouting report and what comes with that?
For sure, there is effect of quickly coming back. It's just a different role in different situations that both of them they're learning how to play off of each other. They're learning how to play again with Yak. We're still playing quickly in 2 stints in the first half, 5 minutes, and in the 3 stints in the second half. So there is a lot of moving pieces there. But we got to use this as learning opportunity. We have 1 more game on this road trip. We got to go to Milwaukee and get ready for that one.
Winning on the road is difficult in the NBA. You haven't been able to do that yet this year. Is there any commonality, any theme to what's happening with your team?
It's hard to make any conclusions after only 10, 11 games of start of the season. It's early in the season. We're still having guys coming from injuries. We have still players that are sidelined. We're really invested in developing young players that we have. And all of those experiences when they go on to play against Hall of Famer in LeBron James and, such a player like Anthony Davis, is very valuable for them to learn from that. So we got to go back, watch film, and then learn from it.
Darko, it seemed like Grady had a pretty good first half, but second half wasn't as involved. What did you see with the second half and the difference with Grady, Dick?
I thought that he was doing a good job in the second half as well, moving and cutting and being opportunity. I thought that he had like 4 or 5 really good cuts that we needed to find him, and we did not find him. We as a team need to do a better job. He's not a player who's going to play 20 pick and rolls or isolation and create that way. It's a team that needs to create opportunities for him. And as good a job as we did in the first half, we did not do a great job in the second.
Defensively, I know a couple guys had challenges in the second half containing triple penetration. With Grady, I think having to guard Austin Reeves, what did you see, I guess, from that matchup, and sort of how can he learn from this specific matchup, for example?
I mean, Austin Reese is the player that's really good pick and roll player, very good shooter. He moves without the ball really well. So you gotta have your antennas up nonstop when you play against him. So just recognizing that when action is coming his way, to be early in a position to close the gap, to be physical with him, and to know what's coming, so he can be prepared for those situations. So that was the biggest learning, today for him.
Another double-double for Yak tonight. He played a very physical game today. I know in Denver we talked about his dynamic with Grady. What are you seeing from him on a night-to-night basis that he's able to adapt to what the team needs from him the most?
When he brings physicality like he did tonight, I thought that he did a really good job of rebounding the ball. It's not easy to go and play against Anthony Davis. I thought that he did a really good job, especially that first half of boxing out, rebounding, but also playmaking, setting good screens. He's a big part of offense when he's involved in grading those all-ball situations and in pick and rolls with both RJ and Quickly. So I think overall he's playing really good start of the season.
Do you feel like his communication has increased this year in comparison to where it was last year, being kind of like the center of, the team, literally the center? Do you feel like his line of sight on the team is kind of like increased vision, more leadership quality, like?
Yes, I think that he's, first of all, experienced player, still young player. I think that his voice with the team is always well heard. Guys respect him, and he's using his voice right away with the team.